To the children of Solidarity, I would say, remember first of all the courage of people who really put not only their own lives but their families' existence on the line. They also refused to be scared by things. Of course they were frightened, but they refused to give way to their fears. That sort of courage. When I ask people, but the Soviets are massing their tanks on the border, which of course they were. Do you really want to go ahead with what you're doing? They said, look, what we're doing is so important, we can't afford to think about that. That sort of courage is still needed. That's the first thing. The second thing is to remember, I think, the sort of social generosity that was in Solidarity. It was a movement which said, those of us in the movement who have more should give some of what we have to those in the movement who have less. We would like to raise the pay of lower paid workers, for example, and reduce the pay of high skilled workers. That sort of instinctive sense of social justice was one of the most moving things about Solidarity. And that's a thing which, you know, the children, the grandchildren of Solidarity really should remember, that it wasn't just for the workers, it was for everybody who was deprived and who felt that they'd lost their identity in a system which was cruel and callous and which didn't care about them. Solidarity was about caring for everybody, to think of a society in which you included, whether on religious grounds, whether on political grounds, everybody counted and everybody mattered, and nobody should be excluded and forgotten. The thing which is forgotten now by everybody about Solidarity is that it was a trade union. It was about workers' rights. Secondly, not only was it a trade union, but it was committed to an extraordinarily radical left-wing view of society, which was a society of workers' control, self-managing enterprises under the control of their workers, who would then elect the manager and decide on the production program and all the rest of it. Wonderful, idealistic idea, completely suppressed in public memory, certainly here. But it was much more radical form of Marxism, if you like, than the party program. Stalin would have had them all shot, of course. And they believed in things like, they believed in equality. One of the first things they tried to do was to level up wages, because Gierek, of course, one of the features of the Gierek period would be to open out the difference between highly paid workers and management and ordinary unskilled workers. And Solidarity immediately tried to close that, right in the Lenin Yard at the start, to close the gap, because they wanted what, you know, the old Soviets used to call Uravnilovka.